In this video, we will understand the digestion, absorption and transportation of carbohydrates. This video will help you to study for the entrance exam, or else you can make the notes for your degree or masters. Without doing any late, please watch till the end of the video. The carbohydrates are the important nutrients which are present in our body. The carbohydrates are broken down into the simplest compounds called as the glucose. These glucose will undergo the different type of metabolical processes in our body, because the glucose will provide you the energy and it acts as a universal fuel for our human body. The digestion of carbohydrates. The carbohydrates are digested in the mouth and also intestine. We will understand the metabolical process, that is digestion. The digestion is important for breaking down the complex carbohydrates into the simple carbohydrates. We already know that the carbohydrates are polysaccharides, the disaccharides and monosaccharides. The polysaccharides are the starch, glycogen and cellulose. The disaccharides are the sucrose, maltose and lactose. Here we also have the monosaccharides like glucose and fructose. It is important to note that these monosaccharides are further not digested in our body, because the carbohydrates are broken down into the simple monosaccharides. These monosaccharides cannot be broken down again. So these monosaccharides will enter into our blood and it undergoes the absorption. These monosaccharides are only the glucose. This glucose is metabolized in our body to produce the ATP as a main source of energy. We should also understand that the disaccharides and polysaccharides should be further broken down. That means they have to be digested so that our body can able to get glucose finally. First, we will understand the digestion in the mouth. Carbohydrates are digested in the mouth by the enzyme called as alpha amylase. Our mouth contains the salivary glands. These glands produce the saliva. The saliva contain the alpha amylase as a different type of enzyme. This enzyme is also called as the ptyalin. This will help to hydrolyze the starch. The starch have to be digested in the enzyme called as alpha amylase. This enzyme, the name is very important. It can be asked in the competitive exams. So what is the function of salivary amylase? This amylase is helpful for breaking down of the bond. The bond is alpha 1,4 linkage. Alpha 1,4 glycosidic bond. This bond is present in the starch. Okay, this bond should be broken down into the dextrins. Here you can see the picture, right? Here we have the structure of the starch. This starch is acting with the enzyme called as alpha amylase. This enzyme will break down the alpha 1,4 bond. Okay, this bond can be broken down by these amylase. These amylase will undergo the formation of end products, the dextrin, maltose, isomaltose and maltotriose. These are the end products in the mouth. If we have to understand the digestion in the stomach, there is no digestion occurs in the stomach, but here the carbohydrates will react with the highly acidic HCl in our stomach. Okay, so these salivary amylase will inactivate under the acidic medium in the stomach. Okay. Next, we will understand the digestion in intestine. The carbohydrates are again reaching the intestine. Our food will move from the mouth to the stomach and to the intestine. In the intestine, the main process of digestion occurs. Here, there is pancreatic amylase and also sucrose, maltose, lactose, isomaltose. So these are the main amount of enzymes present in the intestine. If we see the picture, we can able to understand easily. The food we have the containing starch, lactose and sucrose. These all are present in our food. They will enter into the mouth. Here there is enzyme called as salivary amylase. This enzyme will break the starch into the dextrins. Okay. These dextrins are again broken down into tri oligosaccharides, maltose and isomaltose. Okay, here there is an enzyme alpha amylase, pancreatic enzyme, that will break down the dextrins into these all compounds. Okay, next, these all compounds will enter into the small intestine, right? In the small intestine we have the maltase and isomaltase. So these are the different type of compounds. These compounds are broken down into glucose. Here we have sucrose. It is converted into the glucose and fructose. The lactose is converted into the the lactose is converted into the glucose and galactose. So these are the enzymes. The lactase is an enzyme, the sucrase is an enzyme, and maltase and isomaltase are the enzymes. So these enzymes will help the complete digestion of carbohydrates in the small intestine. Okay. So the remaining end products are going out of our body, that is fiber. The fiber is not digested in our body. It can be broken down by the microorganisms in the colon. Okay. Again, the remaining undigested food, that is removed in the form of feces, the solid waste material. Okay. So the final end products are glucose and fructose. These glucose and fructose will enter into the blood. Okay. So this will enter into the blood, and here the blood is taking the glucose towards the liver. In the liver, the glucose is been metabolized. So this is the entire summary of the digestion of carbohydrates. Okay, we all know that the pancreatic amylase will degrade the dextrins. Okay, so these dextrins are degraded by the maltose. These degraded into the simple compounds called as maltose, isomaltose and alpha dextrins. Okay, so these dextrins are again broken down into oligosaccharides. We all know that oligosaccharides contain 3 to 10 units of glucose. This point is very important. It can be asked in the entrance exams. This is the picture. You can understand that the starch is broken down into maltose, isomaltose, pancreatic amylase is the enzyme that is acting, and also we can find the trisaccharides, oligosaccharides and dextrins. Here you can understand that amylase is a type of enzyme. This enzyme can only act on the polysaccharides. Okay. The disaccharidases, these are the enzymes which can only act on disaccharides. So this is an overview. This is an enzyme. This enzyme act upon the lactose. It gives the glucose and galactose. This enzyme act upon the isomaltose. This gives the maltose and glucose. This enzyme is acting upon maltose. This will give the glucose molecules, and sucrase is an enzyme. It will act upon the sugar sucrose. It will give the glucose and fructose. See, again, these disaccharides and monosaccharides are very important. We have to understand which disaccharide is giving which monosaccharide. So it is very important that it can be asked in any entrance exam. Here we have the final end products. The final end products are the monosaccharides called as glucose, fructose and galactose. So these are mainly absorbed in our bloodstream. Okay, here the body contain the brush border membrane, that means villi. In the intestine we have the microvilli. These are the type of the small structures which is helpful for taking the glucose into the blood. Okay, don't get confused, it is very easy and you can able to understand if you watch this video once or two times. Absorption. So if we understand the absorption of carbohydrates, there are the two main mechanisms for the absorption. So as I said you, the small intestine containing the structures, these are the villi structures. They will uptake the monosaccharides. These monosaccharides enters into the blood. From the blood they will reach to the liver. Okay, here we have the glucose, fructose and galactose. They will mix up with the blood and they will reach the liver. In the liver, the galactose and fructose are converted into the glucose. Okay, don't get confused. Next, absorption of carbohydrates. The carbohydrates can be absorbed with the active transportation and facilitative transportation. Here, the active transportation requires the energy. Okay, they require the ATP. Here, they will move against the concentration gradient. In the facilitated transport, the glucose will move to the high concentration from the lower concentration. Okay, so it is easy to understand, don't get confused again and again. Next, active transportation. In this active transportation we require the ATP. I said you the energy is required for the active transportation. Here the glucose is entering into the brush border membranes. That means from the intestine the glucose is entering into the membrane. From the membrane it is entering into the bloodstream. Here in this process we require the sodium ions and also we require the ATP. Okay, so ATP is very important. Here this is the diagram. You can see the Na plus molecules are very important. Here the glucose is going inside the membrane. Okay, so the Na plus molecules are important for transport of the glucose across the membrane here, and also the ATP is important from the intestinal lumen. From the intestine the blood is from the intestine the glucose is going into the blood. Okay, this is called as absorption. And also if we understand the facilitative transport, here it is independent of Na plus. That means Na plus is not needed, but they require the glucose transporters. There are the specific glucose transporters that are different type of transporters. We have GLUT. These are the different type of transporters. These are the different type of structures which will help to uptake the glucose into the blood. Here we do not require the energy, we do not require the sodium ions. Okay, here the glucose and galactose are transported into the bloodstream. The transportation of carbohydrates. Here as I said you, the glucose is entered into the blood. Here we know that the glucose will enter into the blood. From the blood the glucose will reach the liver. The glucose will reach entirely in our body. That means glucose is circulated in our body. So this process is called as the transportation of carbohydrates. I will show you the transporters. The transporter 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7 and SGLUT. So this requires the sodium. Okay, here these are the different type of transporters that will present in our different parts of our body. Like these are present at the brain, present in the kidney, present in colon, RCB. These are also present in the pancreas. They are present in our heart muscles, adipose tissues. So these are all the different type of organs. these organs will have these transporters. Okay, so here for example I take the colon having the membrane, right? The membrane will have these type of transporters. The transporter is GLUT1. This is also called as glut. So glut transporter, this is a transporter which is present upon the membrane of colon from the blood to the colon. Okay, from the outside of the blood to the colon, it is being transported only with the help of these gluts. Okay, the glucose is uptaken into the cell. That means from the blood it will enter inside the kidney, it will enter inside the brain, it will enter inside the RBC. So this can be only done with the transporters. Likewise, we have the different type of transporters. If you want in detail, I can send you in the comment section. Just comment down below. If you have any doubts, you can ask me. Subscribe for the more content. I will help you for studying for the entrance exam, or these notes will help you for writing the main exams or theoretical exams. I hope this video helped you. Please subscribe to our channel. Thank you so much, my dear students.